Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Elisa Deli and I'm an intuitive tarot reader, card reader, and astrologer, and I'm here to bring you a message from your heart space, from your heart chakra, from the seat of your soul. Okay, so this is going to be a message that helps you understand maybe any blockages in your heart chakra, any issues that are happening in that space, and what it is that your heart center would like to communicate to you. This is the space where the seat of our soul is. This is where our higher self resides. So this reading is with the intention of giving you more guidance and information as to what this area of your energetic body needs in order for you to have a better connection to your higher self and to your authenticity. Okay, so we have 4 piles here. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I'm looking forward to seeing you in your pile. Sending you love. Hello, pile 1. How are you? If you were drawn to this Earth Spirit Stability card, and this is your pile. While I was preparing your pile, I was getting a sense of like stifledness or strain. Stifled, strained energy in your heart space. So let's see what your cards are and see. I have some oracle cards here and then I have some tarot. Let's start with your oracle first. So, oh, this is the blank card. Embrace your inner gypsy. Let's see if this is showing up on camera. Yes. I am presence. And then we have the shadow and the mystic. Okay, so with the Earth Spirit of Stability being the signifying card that drew you to this reading, there's a sense here that maybe you've been focusing a little bit too much on stability, that stability has been stifling or straining your heart space, your pursuit of stability, your pursuit of maybe financial or real world 3D stability has been stifling a lot of your beautiful energy here that's in your heart space. And the reason why I say that is because we have this card here. This is my ego death card. This is my purging card. This is from the archetypes deck. And this was like a blank card that came in the deck and I decided to leave it in there. And it's been very useful. It shows up in readings when the person in question needs to do some major clearing, needs to like have a blank slate energy or an ego death, a release of some aspect of self or the identity that will allow them to make space for new energy to come in and to come through. Your heart space would like you to have more fun, would like you to have more flair, would like you to pursue more joy, would like you to pursue more presence. Okay, I'm getting a real sense here that you are someone who is highly mystical and highly spiritual as well, but maybe you haven't been making enough time for these aspects of yourself. Maybe you haven't been diving deep enough into your shadow work. Maybe you've been focusing too much on like the things that need to get done, the things that need to get taken care of, the pursuit of stability has been perhaps on the forefront of your mind for so long that it hasn't made time or space for this mystic I am presence energy. Like your heart, this is your heart, right? This is like your heart space, this glowing ember at the center of you. This is the place where your soul lives. This is the place where your divine flame resides. This is your essence, and it's something that is so passionate and beautiful and extravagant and unique and different. And it's something that's also very fun and feminine and flirty and sensual, right? Like this card talks to me a lot about like sensuality, divine feminine energy, and not being afraid to express that energy. Embrace your inner gypsy, freedom, fun, music. Maybe your heart space needs you to go out dancing, needs you to go out and, you know, put on a beautiful outfit and feel good, you know, whether you're a man or a woman, to adorn yourself well and to feel confident in your body. And interesting that the shadow card came right beneath this blank card. There's some work that needs to be done. You need to look at your shadow. The shadow is that part of our psyche that we are unaware of, or that we don't want to look at, or that we're unaware of. And it can be hard, it can be very hard to perceive what is in the shadow. And I'm getting the sense that it's not even so much that you need to perceive what's in there, so much as you need to let go and release and make space for your own authentic energy to shine. Yeah, your pursuit of stability is wonderful, but your heart space would like you to tap into a little bit more of a mystical or lover kind of energy, where you are in awe of the natural world around you, where you're appreciating everything that you have, where you find the beauty in the little things and the simple things, where you tap into the fact that you are everything you need, you are what you seek. I am presence, light body activation, accessing the divine within. You are source, creator, the universe is already within you, right? It's not something you need to reach for. It's something that's already there. It's already inside of you. So I want to see now what your tarot cards have to say, have to add on to this message. So let's see. 10 of Spades reversed. 9 of Wands. The High Priestess. And the Fool reversed. With the Sun. The 8 of Wands. The Chariot. And the 8 of Spades. Yeah, it's time to pull down your walls. The words that were coming through: stifled, strained. It's like when something is stifled or strained, it's because it's strained, it's too tight, there's too much pressure or constriction. Your heart space would like you to, it's like loosening a belt or something, or it's like opening a corset. It's kind of like that energy. Your heart space would like you to loosen up this, perhaps this like protective wall that you've created around your heart for self-preservation, for protection. But your heart space would also like to communicate that you have so much love within you, and maybe this is why you've bound up your heart so tightly, is because you have the capacity for deep love. You have the capacity for deep emotion, empathy. We have the Chariot and the High Priestess here together. Cancer, Leo. So you might have Cancer or Leo in your chart. But with the chariot and the high priestess, it's like so much divine feminine energy. So much feminine energy in both of these cards. Like it's a witch on her broomstick over, you know, in front of the pyramids, and in this one she's a high priestess. You know, she is using divination. She's communing with the moon. She's tapping into her inner wisdom and internal guidance system. And there's a strong message here from your heart that if you're able to allow yourself to tap into this mystic, high priestess, divine feminine, receptive energy, that you will receive messages. With the 8 of Wands here, you will receive messages and you will have successful messages. But you seem to be afraid with, you know, with the Fool reverse and the 8 of Spades. There seems to be some hesitation. Fear of loosening the corset or loosening the belt. Fear of letting your heart out and letting it out. There's some fear here. Perhaps you're afraid of getting hurt or looking like a fool. But your heart space wants to communicate to you that there's so much success to be had here. There is so much at hand that's available to you if you are willing to tap into your divine feminine energy. And by divine feminine, it doesn't matter your orientation or your gender. What matters is that you are able to be in that lover energy that I was talking about, where it's like being in awe of the beauty of the world, really soaking in all the details, being receptive to all of your senses, and being very sensually centered and present in your life, right? Being aware of how things feel, how things smell, how things sound, how things look, being very aligned and present to the current moment. You know, there's nothing here on this spread that talks about stability, which is the card that, you know, your signifying card that made you choose this, right? This has been what you've been doing for a long time, is chasing stability, but your heart would like you to focus on these other pursuits. And to not be afraid of your own sensitivity, to not be afraid of your own receptivity. But you have to be willing to try new things, to get out of your comfort zone, to travel, to have fun, to do things that are different, to go on mystical journeys and experiences, right? I'm actually feeling called to read this one from the book, so I'm going to do that for you. Because I really feel that this is what your heart would like you to communicate most to you, is that you are a mystic. And you need to make space for that aspect of yourself. The mystic, the seeker, the light worker, the dreamer. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or light-hearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, embedded with light. They are patient and prudent change makers, seeking growth above all else. Unanswerable questions are the mystic's lifeblood. The mystic revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. Yes. Like any light worker, the mystic must build a relationship with fire. This begins by awakening the inner flame or tapas within. It may seem that the mystic is inward facing, yet its light beams back to the world with the strength of 1,000 stars. Yeah, I feel, I feel maybe this is part of the issue here, is that you fear that if you tap into this mystic energy, then you will be like this misunderstood, lighthearted, wandering daydreamer, right? Like this person who's not really taken seriously, this person who is not taken seriously, not mature, not responsible or like real. It seems like the responsibility, stability, and taking care of business has been something that you pride yourself in, and that has been important to you up until now. And you're afraid that if you tap into this mystic energy, it's going to like diminish your seriousness or something, or diminish your reputation, diminish your ability to be yourself or strong in yourself, or to be taken seriously. And your heart would like to tell you that that's not the case, that is not the case, that this role of the mystic is perhaps the most important thing that you can do, that it's a very important role that you need to step up to and to step into. It's like your heart space would like to communicate that you don't need to be looking over your shoulder, suspicious or worrying about everything, that you have multidimensional allies who've got your back, you've got support, you've got your higher self, which is far more powerful than you are aware of yet. And you've got the spiritual support that you need to be able to relax, to loosen the belt, to loosen the corset, and to explore your potential, explore your spiritual gifts, explore your sensual presence and your divine feminine receptive energy. And I really recommend that you maybe like get a tarot deck or an oracle deck for yourself, start playing with that, spend some time in nature. Go out dancing, move your body, sing, make art, get your bare feet on the ground, get in your garden. Like there's all these different ways that we can tap into this mystic energy. Obviously meditation is one of them, but it really feels that the path for you is going to be something that's much more tactile and physical, okay? So I think I'm gonna round it out here. Okay, pile one, that's it for you today. Okay, pile number two, if you were attracted to this Moonlight Enchantment card, this is your reading from your heart space to you. So let's tap in. While I was preparing your pile, I got the sense that a really open heart space compared to pile number one. Pile number one felt very constricted and closed. Yours felt very open, and I heard freedom. So let's see what the cards have to say. Notice the signs. Investigate symbols, nature spirits. Toth light codes. Ooh. Toth light codes. I think it's how you pronounce it correctly. The beggar. Light attributes. Confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival. Awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. Shadow attribute. Dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. And the kiss. Your heart space would like to acknowledge that you're on the spiral path of healing, right? I always talk about, many people talk about healing being a spiral, right? That we come back around to similar issues or problems, but from a higher level of awareness or perspective each time. So it's like each time we come around and we're confronted with the same issue, the same block, the same trials or tribulations, we could have a different way of seeing the whole thing, right? Yeah, they're drawing me to the wheels here, to the wheels and these and the full moon. There's something about a cyclical thing that's happening with your heart space right now. With the kiss, there's a suggestion about it having to do with romance. There was a sense coming through earlier that with the excessively open heart space, I don't know if that's possible, but where maybe it's like you have an overly open or unprotected heart space. Beggar. Confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival. Awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion. Will often be in this beggar role, right? Where they are relying on the goodwill of others, relying on the donations of others, especially when it comes to like food, you know, and basic needs being met. They're drawing me to the word great teacher with Thoth light codes. And this is a card that is very, very powerful, that talks about when we're at a point on our spiritual journey when we are about to be stepping into a role of not only we are stepping beyond the role of student, and we are stepping into the role of teacher, when we are stepping into the role of a higher authority, a leader, a way shower, an example to others, okay? And you know, with moon magic, notice the signs and Thoth light codes. I just feel like you're a very attuned person. You're someone who's very attuned to the spiritual realms. You're someone who is very connected to your inner being, to your higher self. Your heart chakra feels very open, very, very open. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. With the beggar and the kiss, there's a couple different ways I could read it, but I don't want to speak too soon. So I want to get your tarot cards out and take a look and see what they have to say and get some clarification with the beggar and the kiss. So let's see here. We have the 5 of Cups reversed. We have the Chariot. We have the Page of Wands reversed. The Queen of Cups reversed. The Moon, beautiful, another moon. The Page of Pentacles reversed. The 4 of Cups. And the King of Cups. Ooh, how interesting. So it seems that your heart space would like to communicate to you that you are in this process. You know how they were drawing me to the spirals, to the cycles, to the wheels. It feels like you're pressing up against some kind of heart wound or heart wounding or heart karma that has to do with maybe being excessively needy or excessively desiring or open energetically in your heart space. This could be, you know, being a beggar when it comes to like looking, not a beggar, but like being in that role of always seeking a lover or always seeking a companion, always seeking a partner, always seeking a lover, okay? And the reason why I say that is because we have the Queen of Cups reversed with the King of Cups. So I'm seeing that there's perhaps this imbalance with your masculine emotional energy. When the Queen of Cups is reversed, it can be talking about excessive neediness in relationships. It can be talking about excessive neediness in love and with our emotions. It can be an overbearing sort of neurotic emotional energy that cares so much and loves so hard that it actually ends up stifling and creating issues, creating issues, okay? But what I'm seeing here is that your heart space would like to acknowledge that you're on this wheel of healing, that you are growing beyond these issues. You are growing past them. Because with the Five of Cups reversed, it's like you're starting to let go of whatever this wounding was. You're releasing this wounding that that makes you feel like you're lacking something. You're letting go of the part of your heart that makes you feel like you need someone else, that leaves your doors wide open and like almost like trying to suck someone in, right? Like I'm feeling like that's stopping now, and you're starting to pay more attention to your own relationship with yourself and your own spirituality, because look, we have the moon and the moon here twice. So you're very connected to your own cyclical nature. You're very connected to your own karma. And by connected to your own karma, what I mean is you're connected to your own patterns. You're aware of your patterns, and you're bringing them into the light of your awareness, and you're connecting to your intuitive internal compass. You're paying attention to the signs from the universe. You're stepping onto a path of spiritual initiation that's taking you on a different path. A different path. Now we have the Chariot with the Page of Pentacles reversed. Your heart would like you to reconsider your goals. Reconsider what you're aiming for. Reconsider the target. The thing that you're aiming for, the thing that you're shooting for. What is it that you're aiming for? Where would you like to go? In both of these cards, there are signposts that show two different directions that both people could be going. So there seems to be a lack of certainty on your part of what it is you actually want, and what it is you're actually aiming for, and what your goal is, right? And if you don't have a clear goal or direction that you're moving in, what ends up happening is like the tides of life will just make you kind of be willy-nilly, and that at each turn of the tide, you'll be turned in a different direction, and you'll end up just going in circles, cyclical. You'll end up in the same cycle. You'll end up in the same loop. Nothing will change until you change the target, what you're aiming for. And you will be successful with the Chariot upright, but you have to know what you're aiming for so that you can create a plan, have a roadmap, and make the proper decisions that will lead you to get there. And then we have another page reversed, the Page of Wands reversed. So the Page of Pentacles always talks to me, when he's reversed, it always talks to me about talks about like laziness, or a lack of commitment, lack of follow through, a lack of like engagement to take the steps necessary, to take the practical steps you need to take, to put in like the hours that you need to put in to get something done, right? And when the Page of Wands is reversed, to me it talks about like when there are opportunities at hand, but we're not taking them. When there are opportunities, but we are not jumping, right? And with the Page of Wands and the Four of Cups, it's like, you're spending too much time. You're spending too much time worrying about what's not going well. Maybe you're spending too much time looking at the patterns, looking at the loops, looking at the cycles, looking at the karma, and not enough time taking the actionable steps that are going to lead you towards your liberation and the changes that need to actually be made, right? It's that old thing, like there's that expression, it's like insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. If you want a different result, if you want to get out of this loop that you've been in, then you need to take different actions. You can't just do the same things you've always done and expect different results. So I'm going to use an example here, like an arbitrary example. Like let's say you're trying to lose weight. Okay, just an example. Let's say you've been trying to lose weight for like a couple years, and for the past couple years you've been going to the gym and kind of dieting, and you go to the gym for a while and your diet lasts for a while, but you always kind of fall off the wagon. Maybe instead of trying to do the gym bro and meal prep thing that like is so popular on the internet or whatever, maybe what you need to do instead, maybe you need to try going on walks instead of going to the gym. Maybe you need to try Pilates or yoga. Maybe you need to, instead of trying to like diet in the way that you've been dieting, maybe you need to like just focus on incorporating more whole foods into your diet rather than dieting. Does that make sense? Rather than like calorie counting, why don't you try and like just in every single meal, make sure you have at least like half a plate of vegetables? Something like that. It's like there needs to be a shift in the way you are approaching the loop in order for it to be broken and to have a different result. And it feels like this loop, whatever this is, whether this has to do with relationships with others, whatever this beggar energy, however this shows up in your life with the beggar and the kiss, whether this is being overly needy in relationships, having an open heart to the extent to where it's like it's too open and you let whoever in, and you don't have the right filters or the right kind of standards to keep you protected and safe. There's something here where you've put yourself in a situation repeatedly where you hurt yourself, you get hurt, and your heart would like you to now focus on breaking this loop by breaking out of the apathy or the pain or looking at what's going wrong and focusing on stepping into your King of Cups energy, right? You've been in this wounded Queen of Cups energy for long enough. You've been in this energy for long enough. The King of Cups is emotionally mature. He knows how to control his emotions. He knows how to work with them. He doesn't allow himself to become dominated or overtaken by them. Rather, he is able to observe them. It doesn't matter how big the waves get of his inner emotional landscape or state. He is able to be steady in his being and not allow that to overwhelm him. It's like you need to get on the road. You need to start taking the steps to get on the path. You got to get out of the loop, out of the spiral, out of the circular road and onto a straight line that's going to lead you towards that new goal that you need to reconsider. This is the main thing your heart wants you to reconsider, is where you focus your energy and your attention. And it seems like your heart would like you to focus your energy and your attention on your spiritual self, because let us not forget these three cards here. Magic, notice the signs, and Thoth light codes. Investigate symbols, nature, spirits, light initiation, great teacher awakening, divine magic, magic. So we have magic twice here, divine magic, great teacher awakening, symbols, nature, spirits. We have so much spiritual energy. We have so much high vibrational, higher self initiations that seem to be like on the cusp of happening or that are happening. But you need to begin the process of taking the necessary steps in your 3D physical reality to get out of whatever loop you've been in emotionally of this, it's like maybe you need to stop trying to date for a little while and just focus on yourself. Maybe you need to, pull back the reins when it comes to seeking love in others, because it seems like there's so much love within yourself and from the higher realms and from your higher being that is trying to flood into your life. So much magic, so much intuition, so much, your essence, really, your true essence is like trying to pour into you But you need to make yourself available to do that, and you need to take the steps to get yourself out of this looping cycle that you've been in. Reevaluate your goals. What are your goals? What's most important to you? Is it most important to you to find a relationship, or is it most important to you to align with your higher self, step into your divine magic and your great teacher awakening, to embody your essence? Like, what's more important to you? You know, you have to really be honest with yourself. Are you being honest with yourself? Are you prioritizing things correctly? And once you get your priorities straight of what's most important to you, make a plan, write down actionable steps that you can take, that you can begin tomorrow, that will lead you to your goals. One of the things that I heard somewhere that stuck with me was the 1-5-20 rule, which is if you're wanting to reach a goal, you figure out what that goal is, and then you think about 3 things that you can do every single day to get you towards that goal. One thing which would take 1 minute of your time, another thing which would take 5 minutes of your time, and another thing which would take 20 minutes of your time. And you commit to doing these things every day. I feel like this will be very helpful for you, pile number 2. I feel that this is going to be helpful for you. Okay? So I think that's all I have for you today. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope that this was resonant. I hope it brought forth some messages and some guidance that were applicable and relevant to you. If you enjoyed this reading, please consider giving the video a like and a subscribe. It really helps me out. And also, if you're interested in a personal reading, I am available. That information is down below. Sending you so much love, pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3. So if you were drawn to this storm spirit of chaos, this is a message from your heart to you. So I've got some tarot cards that I've pre-prepared. We're going to put them to the side for now. We're going to look at your oracle cards first. I was tapping into a distinctly electric Uranian energy as I prepared your pile. So we have Remember Who You Are, the Martyr, learning to transcend nature, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, shadow attribute, addiction to self-pity. Prince, light attribute, romantic charm and potential for power, shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. Gaia, gateway activation, learning experiences, wisdom transmission, earth intelligence. And the prayer, as well as Thanatos. Wow. So your heart space, pile number 3, is it's observing you, it's watching you. And we know science has proven that the heart has its own neural network around it that actually sends signals to the brain, and that the heart has its own intelligence in a certain way, biologically. And spiritually, the heart is the seat of the soul, the place where our higher self resides, and the place from which now, in this particular age, we as humans need to anchor our spiritual strength and live from the heart and express through it. And it's like your heart is watching you, your heart is observing you. Your heart seems to be observing the deep compassion and care that you have for the world, whether this is like the planet ecologically or fellow humanity, with everything that's going on in the world. The martyr is speaking to me a lot about, you know, everything that's happening in the world with the multiple genocides that are happening. Your heart would like you to ground your energy. That electric feeling, the chaos energy, the energy of electricity of the storm, right? Of the chaos that's in your heart. It's not like it's in your heart, it's more like it's in your whole body. I feel like your whole body perhaps needs a lot of grounding, needs a lot of reassurance, needs a lot of calming down. Because with Remember Who You Are, this is a card that talks about coming into remembrance of our ancestral wisdom, of our inherent soul wisdom, of the parts of us that are kind of more in that unconscious, subconscious, I want to say like in the blood kind of memory bank and soul essence, rather than something that's in that frontal brain that we've learned and developed throughout this lifetime. This Remember Who You Are card is this coming into alignment and memory of our truth. And this card here, this card talks about coming into alignment with the planet and being of service to Earth. I'm actually feeling called to read this one, Thanatos, from the book. So I'm going to do that for you. Death. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as a transformation. But the true archetypal resonance of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our heart, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. When light, grieving, mourning, bearing witness to all that is. When dark, fear or insensitivity to old age, illness, or the dying. Yeah, I feel like you're definitely in this light aspect of the Thanatos with the martyr. You are someone who has the capacity to hold space for the grief of the planet. And maybe you're someone who's doing a lot of praying and thinking about the earth and your fellow humans and everything that's happening right now. And with chaos spirit, the chaos energy is similar to death, right? The storm, in a way, is a kind of death. When a big, scary, violent storm comes, if you've ever been in one, you'll know what I mean. It's intimidating. It's awe-inspiring in a kind of terrifying and humilifying, like humbling way, where we have to be humble and we have to say, like, please, spirit of the storm, like, go easy on me, go easy on my family, go easy on this structure that's protecting me, right? If you've ever been out at sea in a storm, it's very intense. If you've ever just been in driving through a storm, right? It can be extremely frightening, and it brings up the fear of death and the fear of us being very small, really, in this big, big world that we're in. just feel that you're at a point right now where your heart wants you to acknowledge this death that's happening. Your heart wants you to acknowledge the changes that are underway and this process that you're in of dying and being reborn. I'm interested with this Prince energy, exactly how this fits in. Romantic charm and potential for power. Using power for self-aggrandizement, for making oneself bigger. So let's take a look at your tarot cards and let's see if we can get some clarity about where this is all going. We have the Seven of Wands reversed. We have the Magician. We have the Eight of Cups reversed. The World. Six of Spades. Three of Wands reversed. Page of Spades reversed. And the Fool. So very interesting. We have, it's very clear death and rebirth here because we have the World with the Fool, the last card of the Major Arcana, clarified by the first card, the Zero card of the Major Arcana, really obviously signifying that you are at this threshold, this transition point, this change. And it is somewhere that's going to be better than where you have been in the past. It's going to feel less stormy, less chaotic. And I think you're in the process right now of honing your skills, honing your powers, making decisions, and getting into an alignment to where you can trust your instincts, you can trust yourself, you can trust the guidance that's coming in for you from your prayers. Maybe you're beginning to pray more and you're beginning to open yourself up more to this process of surrendering and connecting to the higher realms. You're obviously very powerful because we have the Magician here. But I'm getting this feeling that you're in this process of learning that through co-creation, you have to have a certain level of surrender, humility, similar to with the storm or with death energy. When the storm comes, we have to just be humble and say, please go easy on me, right? We have to simply wait for the storm to pass. There's nothing we can do about it. And it's the same way when we're in co-creation. There are certain forces and things that happen that are out of our control, that we have to be humble and that we have to allow and work around or work with. Yeah, there's a strong message here about grounding, getting into your own energetic center, focusing on your own spiritual practices that get you aligned to yourself and to your essence. With the Martyr and the Prince and the Seven of Wands clarified with the Six of Spades, I think you're getting out of a phase where you perhaps before were very strong in your martyr energy, very strong in your desire to maintain a certain position or to make people perceive, value, or understand your perspective. And maybe you're releasing that a little bit. Maybe you're releasing that need to be understood or that need to be respected or that need to maintain a certain position. Yeah, it's the message that's coming through. It's about steadying your energy, steadying yourself, aligning yourself to your center, and kind of not, because there's two cards here that are talking about like making a decision, the Three of Wands and the Eight of Cups, but they're both reversed. So it's talking to me that your heart doesn't really want you to make a decision or make any strong big moves right now. Your heart wants you to ride out the storm, to witness the death that is occurring, to sit with this death and rebirth process. You may be having some Pluto transits that are happening in your personal birth chart. So take a look at where Pluto is in relationship to you at this moment. At the time of the recording, Pluto is retrograde at 2 degrees of Aquarius. So if you have any major planets or placements at 2 degrees of any of the fixed signs, Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, or Aquarius, that's activating by square. And similarly, if you have anything at 2 degrees of the air signs, it's activating by trine. And obviously, if you have anything at 2 degrees of Aquarius, this is big time activating you. You may also be having a lot of transits in your 8th house currently. So check in with the astrology of what's happening for you right now, but it just feels like there's a big, maybe 12th house transits also. But there's just this big death and rebirth happening, and it's more like your heart wants you to bear witness. You know, the first message that was coming through, that like your heart is watching. Your heart wants you to watch as well. Your heart wants you to step into the role of the observer and to be the word humble keeps coming up, right? And maybe that has something to do with this Prince energy. Romantic charm and potential for power, shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. Self-aggrandizement, making oneself bigger, making oneself seem more powerful or more important, is like the opposite of humility, right? So there's something that you need to be careful with, this shadow attribute of using power to make yourself bigger or more important in some way. It's very important for you to remain humble and to allow these greater forces that are beyond you to do what they're going to do, right? And to not think that you are in control of every little thing, or that you have all the information or the knowledge of how to do things. You're at a point right now where your heart would like you to kind of surrender and open up and pray and ground and spend time in your spiritual practices and spend time connecting to your essence and honing your power, harnessing your power. Because the Magician, in truth, we have here 21, the last of the major arcana, 0, and then 1, right? Signifying to me that you're at the end of the end and at the beginning of the beginning. You're right at that transition point in the loop, in the spiral, where it's like you're closing out one cycle and you're entering another one. You're right at that threshold, right at that death rebirth point. So it's important for you to remain open and willing to receive whatever new direction your higher self and the universe would like to guide you in. And it's going to have something, I believe, to do with, you know, the planet and where we're moving into and the new earth that we're bringing in. I'm actually feeling called to read this one from the book to round out your reading. The Gaia Gateway is the chakra that connects us directly with the mind and intelligence of Mother Earth. This chakra is not very well known, but is now being acknowledged as one of the key energetic spaces we can connect with to activate the ascension process. For many years, ascension has been thought of as moving beyond the limitations of the body and transcending the physical realm. But it is in fact the process of becoming present in the body in full awareness of the spirit within. The Gaia Gateway is found below our feet, under the Earth Star chakra. But when we're connected to it, it's best to imagine it in the center of the earth. The best way to describe it is a wormhole or portal in the center of the earth that allows us to connect directly with the non-physical intelligence of Gaia, the spiritual presence of planet Earth. The Earth is a highly spiritual, intelligent, aware being. She has lived through many challenges and experiences that have led her to where she is today. No matter what has been served up to her, or how many of us have mistreated her, she has found a way to survive and thrive. Yeah, that last sentence reminds me of kind of the chaos death energy, right? No matter what has been served up to her, or how many of us have mistreated her, she has found a way to survive and thrive. That's what you need to do right now. So your message. Sometimes it is not our role to know how everything will unfold. When you draw this card, it's a reminder to trust the plan. The wisdom of Gaia is with you at this time, and you can enjoy the natural expansion that is taking place. You may have a tendency to go traveling and look to the stars for answers, but realize that the planet you call home has much to offer too. You have chosen to be here. This may not be easy to accept, especially if your current reality is a harsh one, but your current experiences are vital for your growth. The earth herself cannot escape the challenges that she is facing at this time. Learn from her strength. Learn from her yearning for a better future. Come back to her. She is your chosen home. Yes. Humility, grounding, presence, and surrender. That's what your heart would like you to do. Your heart would like you to surrender to the presence of the moment, accept everything that's happening to you, accept the death and rebirth and the changes that are in the process of unfolding in your life, and root into the planet and to your body and into yourself, and let go of needing to grasp, needing to know what the future holds. Trust that the plan is unfolding exactly as it needs to, okay? All right, pile number 3, I hope that this message was helpful for you today. If you resonated with this reading, if you're here until the end, consider giving the video a like. It really helps me out, and maybe I'll see you again for another reading soon. Sending you so much love, pile number 3. Hello, pile number 4. So if you were attracted to pile number 4 with this hummingbird spirit of joy, we're going to be getting messages from your heart space and seeing what it is your heart would like to say to you. I've got some tarot cards, but we're going to start with Oracle first. And I was getting a very interesting message as I was preparing your pile. I was feeling little like blips of pain in my heart, and this was communicating to me something about the way that the healing process works. Like if you've ever gotten a really big cut or like a really big scrape or something, it heals kind of not uniformly. So there's something about like little like bits of your heart that are still in this healing process of some kind, that are still in pain. So let's see, we're going to start with your oracle cards first. The Pilgrim, the Riddle, and the Bridge. Wow. Heart of Source, all-encompassing love, unconditional acceptance, serenity. And Pleiadian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution. Let's see if this is all looking good on camera. Yeah. Okay, so before I go any further, before I look at your other cards, I just want to say that you are a very high vibrational person. You're a very high vibrational being. You're someone who's innately connected to the spiritual realms. With the Bridge, the Pilgrim, and both of these cards, Heart of Source and Pleiadian activation, it just feels like you're someone who's very attuned to your spiritual essence, to your higher self. You're someone who's done a lot of healing work, done a lot of spiritual work. Maybe you're doing a lot of spiritual practices. And there's a message coming through with the Riddle where it's sometimes we just don't know things, right? Sometimes things don't have a clear answer. Sometimes there are factors and forces that are beyond our grasp or understanding. And that may be very frustrating for you as the Bridge, because you're someone who's used to standing the threshold between both worlds. You're someone who's very sensitive, perhaps psychic, very intuitive. You've got a lot of abilities and you're very connected. So it seems like you're at a point right now where you're in a stumped riddle situation where you're trying to understand something, maybe part of this heart thing that you're trying to heal, and it's not making sense to you, or you're not understanding it. So let's see what else enjoy music. Reconnect with Mother Earth, plants, garden, harvest, and the angel. Yeah. Also, the way that I'm laying out these cards today is different than how I usually do, like all of these layers. You're someone who's very attuned to all of your layers. You're very attuned to your psychology. You're very attuned to yourself. And your heart would like you to just kind of relax a little bit, to like enjoy yourself. To like, I'm getting drawn to the way she's like hugging herself, to nurture yourself, to hug yourself, to embrace yourself, to create beautiful, harmonious, soft, comfortable, lush, enjoyable experiences for yourself. Your heart space would like you to kind of maybe take a break from learning. I'm also getting drawn to the number 22 here. That's right here in the middle. You might be a life path 22, or 22 might be a synchronicity that's coming up for you a lot right now. But your heart would like to communicate to you and acknowledge to you all of the healing work that you've been doing, and to give you acknowledgement and like honor you for all of the work that you've put in. But your higher self would like you to kind of relax a little bit. This card is a card that to me talks a lot about sound healing, about using music and sound as a tool for healing, and also a tool for relaxation, right? So if for example, you might want to look at sound baths or other kind of like ASMR type healing things online that you can listen to, and you can just lay down and be in a very receptive mode to do that. And of course, reconnect with Mother Earth, spend time outside, get out in the garden. If you have a garden, go on a walk, even if it's just around your neighborhood, go to your local park, go to any of your favorite outdoor places. Both of these things are going to be very nourishing for you at this time. Very nourishing for you at this time. And this card is wanting to be read. Let me get it. This card, the Heart of Source. All-encompassing love. Ooh, unconditional acceptance. Serenity. So we're going to get the book out and read that for you, because I'm being called to do that. The source of the universe is a gigantic heart. Its beats are angels and beings of light. It is what many call God. It's love that is beyond gender and dogma. It is the infinite experience infinity. It's all that is, was, and ever will be. It's love being love and expressing love. It's an energy that can be explained but never fully comprehended. It's where we all have come from and where we will all return to. The strangest part of it all is we've never left. Even though we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and many feel that Source is separate from us, the truth is that we're always connected, even if we feel we are not. This gateway takes us not upward, but inward. It's the gateway that reminds us that through the stargate of our heart, we connect to the heart of creation. Not only that, but we exist and express ourselves within that heart. Even though we may be on planet Earth and experiencing Earth as a planet within the Milky Way, all of this and more is actually being expressed by the heart of Source. The vastness of this divine love is inexplainable, but it is who we are. You are connecting directly with the heart of Source, creator of life and love. You are blessed to receive this card, for it shows the cup of your heart is being filled with love until it overflows. The divine energy that is with you now is helping you melt away any blockages so you can be open to the love, acceptance, and appreciation that you deserve. You are being encouraged to view yourself in a loving way and give yourself permission to be loved. If you have been holding back for a while but are now ready to share the love you have within, this card lets you know it is safe to do so. You are loved, loving, and lovable. Step forward, claim your worth, enjoy a new level of spiritual openness. You are truly blessed. Yeah, I just feel that, like, with all of these cards, the overwhelming feeling is that you're on the right track. You've done so much healing work, and now it's time to get kind of into a receptive mode where you receive blessings from the universe, from your guides. Maybe you identify as Pleiadian, or you work with Pleiadian guides, or maybe this is just a sign for you to spend some time under the stars. Get out and look at the night sky. So let's see what it is that your heart wants to say to you. Let's continue with your tarot cards. We have the Page of Pentacles reversed, the Five of Pentacles, the Hermit, a lot of earth so far, the Ace of Pentacles reversed. How interesting. Your whole first row is Pentacles and earth energy. Four of Cups reversed, Seven of Pentacles, excuse me, King of Spades, 10 of Cups reversed, and the Sun as an extra bonus card. Your higher self, not your higher self, because the heart chakra, if it's well developed and it's well cleansed, cleared, and healed enough, that is where our higher self resides. So I'm feeling that your higher self is speaking through your heart chakra. It's not just the consciousness of your heart that's speaking here. Your higher self and your heart would like you to just kind of stop and smell the roses. There's something here about you've been pushing really hard for a long time. You've been putting in a lot of, like, emotional and spiritual work. And now it's time for you to receive some assistance. And that's just going to require you to just chill out and just kind of be where you are now, right? To be where you are now and to focus on your physical body, focus on your physical environment, focus on physically getting relaxed, getting cleansed, getting cleared, getting attuned, right? You are someone with a very high vibrational energy and very connected to your guides and to spirit and to the other realms, as I was saying before, because with the King of Spades here in this deck, this King of Spades always comes through as Archangel energy. So you may work with archangels as well. And with the Hermit, it's like you are the hermit who works with the archangels. You are the one who has been going within, doing the inner work, finding your inner light, honing in on your inner divinity, clearing away all of the blockages that get in the way of that. Because essentially, that's our main job, right? In order for us to come into alignment with our truth, with our essence, with our soul, what is required of us in the healing process is to remove blockages that we've acquired and throughout our life for various different reasons, or throughout multiple lifetimes. And you've been really putting in the work, but it's kind of put you in a place now where you're feeling a little bit maybe drained, maybe exhausted, maybe a little bit like at the end of your rope. And your higher self would just like you to slow down, be present, and accept the help that is trying to come your way. And to remind you that you are very protected at this time, that you are very, very protected, that you don't need to worry about feeling vulnerable, that you are protected. Interesting, on both ends here of your reading, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Five of Cups reversed, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups also reversed. It's something about not trusting. What? Hang on. Let me try and get this correct. It's almost something about like not trusting in the invisible realms enough, not trusting in your higher self enough, not trusting that you've put in the work and now you've just got to release it and let it go and let things align for you. It's a kind of mistrust, maybe also that like emotionally that things will get better or something. There may be these residual feelings of fear, lack of trust, lack of faith, and not because you don't want to have that faith or don't want to have that trust, but this is just the nature of the residual blockages and wounding that you've acquired throughout your life that have made you very weary of trusting and receiving. We've got Virgo and we've got Leo on the table. So that Leo-Virgo cusp is very royal. It's associated with the royal star Regulus, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, that is true, it's Regulus. And the Regulus star is a star that to me deals a lot with the king archetype and royal, regal energy. So it's like with the angel here and the bridge that came out earlier, it's like you are royalty. You are like, on a spiritual level, you are like royalty. You are noble. You are someone who has gained a certain level of respect or status or a certain level, a heightened level on your evolutionary journey. And you've got to trust that is true, and that will be rewarded, and that will be given the financial assistance that you need, that will be given the financial support and abundance you need. You may be feeling like you don't have enough, like not enough is being provided for you, but if you really slow down and pay attention and just get into a very soft, receptive, trusting mode, you will see that not only have you already been provided with more than enough, but you will continue to receive more than enough. You will continue to receive more than enough. Something interesting coming through about your waist, your hips. I'm not really sure what the message is for that. Maybe that's a part of your body that's particularly attractive. Maybe that's a part of your body you need to pay more attention to energetically. Maybe that's a part of you okay, this is an interesting message. Your hips are, your waistline, your hips are the part of your body where you are very connected to the spiritual realms through your lower chakras. So it's very important for you to get grounded into your body, for you to be very centered and connected to your physical vessel. So even if you're like meditating or doing other spiritual practices, make sure that you're mixing that up with with a lot of like grounding and presence practices, like getting your bare feet on the earth, dancing, exercising. Any form of exercise is a really great way to get into your body. Anything that will draw you down and into this human experience, right? Because you may have a tendency to get caught up in your higher chakras, but your lower chakras, this is where you have a very strong connection and bridge to the multidimensional realms. Yeah, I feel it that this riddle card, when some things are not meant to be known or understood, you may be at a point right now where like financially or in the real world, there may be an issue that's coming up where it's like you don't know how it's going to work out. You don't know how you're going to be provided for. You're having to take like a leap of faith. And if I'm telling you to just like, oh, be soft and receptive, you're like, yeah, but I can't. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to meet our responsibilities, you know? I'm going to read this riddle card for you. The riddle, the puzzle, the question, the mystery. When the riddle is present, one must stop searching for the right answer. It cannot be found, and ultimately it is not important. Rather, there must be a shift from the literal to the metaphorical, from logic to mythic. You are thinking too small and literally about the situation. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom in a Zen koan. Focusing harder won't do it. Neither will increased effort. Time, surrender, and humor are your only allies. What feels like the most pressing dilemma won't reveal its deeper wisdom for a long time. Eventually, you'll learn a profound lesson from the riddle. For now, get comfortable with the limitations of your intellect and the reality of not knowing. It may, in fact, be the only reality there is. Yeah, you're being asked to get comfortable where you are, settle in, and trust the process. Believe that all of this spiritual work that you've put in, all of the sensitivity you have, all of the powerful intuition and bridge capacities that you have as like this angelic, shamanic, high vibrational person that you are, that is earned. And you have earned that not only in this lifetime, but in multiple lifetimes, your spiritual royalty, and you are going to be provided for. Whatever's happening in your life that you're trying to figure out and understand and manage, relax, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay, all right? So I hope that this message was helpful for you. Oh man, do you guys hear that? I'm in a space that's very old, and I think those are mice. So I don't know if mice are some kind of mice or rats maybe. It might be some kind of a message for some of you guys. If you want to look that up, the spiritual meaning of those animals, that might be of relevance to you as well. Okay, so so let's end out this reading with so much love and gratitude. I want to thank you, pile number 4, for sticking it with me all the way here to the end. It was an honor to read for you. You're such a special soul, and I'm grateful to have you here on my channel. If this reading was resonant for you and you enjoyed it, consider giving a like or a subscribe. It really does help me out and lets me know what kind of content is resonant and helpful, okay? So sending you so much love, pile number 4. Hope you're well.